Howdy everyone, welcome back to the Luna Geeks Out channel. Special day today, new Sabaton single, Christmas Truce. Fascinating part of World War I, cannot wait to check the song out and cannot wait to talk about it. This is a day late because I took the time to dig a little further into the Christmas Truce, make sure I understood what all was going on. Didn't do a super deep dive, but it's a day late because of that, so I sort of put the work into this one. Anyways, without further ado, let's hop into it.
Man, wake up! Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hannes! Come on!
They really gave me an ad in the middle of the song. Bruh. And another ad. I just want to watch the music video. Carol of the Bells, I think? Just reminiscent of it.
Silence! Oh, I remember the silence on a cold winter day. After many months on the battlefield, and we were used to the violence, then all the cannons went silent, and the snow fell. Voices sang to me from no man's land. We are all friends. And today we're all brothers, tonight we're all friends. Our moment of peace in a war that never ends. Today we're all brothers, we drink and unite. Now Christmas has arrived and the snow turns the ground white. Hear carols from the trenches, we sing a holy night. Our guns laid to rest on wood snowflakes. Our Christmas in the trenches, our Christmas on the front, far from home. Madness, how I remember the sadness.
Oh, it's big, I don't know. This is good. Yeah, the choir in the back, I always love how they include choirs in their stuff.
Our moment of peace in a war that never
thought I'd see a electric guitar solo being played on an acoustic guitar, but here we are. Oh, some good synths. Nice. Oh, and it's just the focus again. Oh, I love when they do this.
Today we're all brothers, we drink and unite. Now Christmas has arrived and the snow turns the ground white. On Christmas on the front line we walk among our friends. We don't think about tomorrow, the battle will commence. When we said night to Christmas we thought about our friends. Those who never made it home when the battle had commenced.
This is a beautiful ending to this. Now that was phenomenal. That is probably the best Sabaton song I've heard in a while. Like the last few ones that have been released, Steel Commanders, Defense of Moscow, Leave God A, and then Royal Guard as well. All great tracks, but this one, this track really reminded me of why I love Sabaton so much. But let's talk about the history of the Christmas Truce for a second, because that's some good stuff. So everyone knows sort of the big details of the Christmas truce. The men stopped fighting, they had the football match, they exchanged gifts and all that. But people don't know much more than that, and oftentimes it's really regarded as part of myth. It's not really seen as something that actually happened, at least not fully. Of course, it is known to have happened, but a lot of people still don't really believe it. But it did very much happen, but really not in the way a lot of people think. Like, the big image of it that I've certainly seen is very similar to, say, the film, I'm about to butcher the French, I apologize, but the film Joyeux Noël, which is a really good film, and if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it. But it is not a one-to-one retelling of the Christmas truce by any means. It is very much taking different elements of it and putting it together into one specific event in the film to create, the best possible story. But it is accurate to sort of how it happened, if that makes any sense. But we're not here to talk about the film, we're here to talk about the actual event. So, Christmas 1914, ceasefire sort of spontaneously happened across the Western Front. This wasn't happening at just one specific location, it was happening across all the Western Front. Of course, some sectors there was no ceasefire, some sectors just a quick ceasefire, for the day. Some it was, they would go over and, shake hands, be friends, and exchange gifts or whatever. But Christmas truce did happen. And yeah, in some areas it was as simple as ceasefire, and they'd just sing carols and stuff. In some, it was a chance for them to go and bury the dead. In some sectors, they did exchange gifts, get haircuts and stuff from barbers on each side. Some sectors, there is famously the football match. That is a thing that happened. It is a bit conflicted over whether or not it was an actual match, or if it was just basically just a bunch of guys kicking a football around, pretty much, or soccer ball for us Americans. But that was an actual thing that happened. It's just, some people will say it was an actual match, some will say it was just kicking the ball around and having fun. There was, in the video on the event by Imperial War Museum, they do say that it was just guys kicking a football around, and an actual soldier was saying that, but I do see a lot of people say that it is, an actual match as well. I'm going to go with what the soldiers said, but, the two sort of main sources I looked at for this, which were the Imperial War Museum video and the Great War video, were a bit conflicting in things. So I'm going to say, and this is very much an assumption, but I'm going to say that a lot of the differences in things are due to just using different sources, and a lot of the soldiers that were interviewed on this just misremembering, and then as the years go by, just stories being embellished a bit and stuff, because that happens. And so really there's no way to 100% know exactly how things went down in every single place, but we have a good idea of how things went down on the whole, just from all the different sources. The Christmas truce is just an absolutely beautiful thing, that in the middle of war we were still able to find brotherhood and everything, and it is heartbreaking that we were able to do that as well, that in the middle of war we were able to see they aren't that different from us. They're men just like us. They're brothers and everything. And to stop killing and then to have the next day go back to killing men you just met and were friends with and everything. And war never should have happened, but it's horrible. Of course, the Christmas truce really didn't happen again for a variety of reasons. Men were threatened with punishments for it of various levels, and then so the war changed. As the war went along, it got more just horrible, more brutal, everything like that. Stuff like gas and things like that came into play, and civilian casualties started picking up, and so many different things that soldiers really no longer wanted to fraternize with the enemy anymore. They no longer really saw them as just other soldiers. They just started to see them probably as the enemy. And as the war changed, as the men changed, Christmas truce didn't really become a thing. It's horrible, but that is what World War I was. Just a whole lot of horrible and not much nice. Which is not good English, but that perfectly sums it up. But the song was a whole non-horrible and a whole lot nice. I'm sorry, that was a really stupid thing to say. But that was phenomenal. Like I said earlier, it really just made me remember why I fell in love with this band and why they really made me fall in love with metal and everything. It's such a good track, aside from the advertisements interrupting it, of course. But no, I'll start off like I normally do, talk about vocals, because I'm a vocal guy. That's really, those are what are going to really grab my attention and everything, and they were great. Joachim is just such an iconic vocalist. He may not be, one of the greatest out there or anything, but you hear it and you know it's him, and he just has such a great voice for what they do and everything, and these were some of his best. Very, very good. Just everything about them. The choir as well, always love that. That is one of the things Sabaton does that I think is so good. A lot of the stuff they do, it can drag on a bit. Maybe it doesn't do as much for me, but I love how they include choir in so much of their stuff. It adds some really nice depth to the track and everything. Has some great background to it and everything, and it's so nice. The piano and the strings and all that, all the sort of orchestral stuff, the stuff that isn't traditionally metal. Beautiful. Within the track itself, it was great and fit so well, especially with it being Christmas themed, and then sort of the orchestral arrangement at the end, which I don't think is part of the actual track itself. I am hoping that they'll release like an orchestral version of the album, because they did that for Great War and that was so good. But that was amazing and such a great end to the video. Guitar, it was great. It's always going to be great. It's hard to really do some guitar that I'd be like, yeah, that was good. It's hard to mess that up for me. I love guitar. Didn't really do anything that really made me go, ooh, I gotta mention that. Didn't really do anything that stood out too much, but it was solid throughout. Drums, same thing. Solid throughout, didn't do too much for me, but they were good. Bass, unfortunately, didn't notice it in this one, so don't have much to say on that. Now, Sabaton, I really want to talk about how they sort of approach the topic musically, because when I compare them to groups like 1914 or Minenwerfer or Kanonenfieber or Stalag 328, really my four favorites when it comes to World War I, Sabaton does not hold up as much because of, I suppose, sort of the musical choices they make, where their music, it's very fun music. You're gonna get into, you're gonna have a good time and everything. And to me, that doesn't fit as well with World War I, because, World War I is just such a horrible, dark topic. But it worked really well here because it's the Christmas Truce. This is basically the most fun World War I got, and so that works really well, and it did take a bit more, I suppose, a somber style with it, not quite the right word, but something like that, and that fits so well here as well. It fits so well. I don't even know how to describe it as having fit well. It worked so well, and there's sort of times where I think Sabaton's, I suppose, musical stylings or musical choices or whatever really fit the topic perfectly. A lot of the time, I love their music, but it doesn't feel like it fits the topic as well as it could. Here, it fit perfectly. So, I have no complaints with the song, aside from the advertisements that messed it up. This was fantastic. I cannot wait to see what comes next on the album. They should have released this closer to Christmas, but that is the most nitpicking of nitpicks, so it can be ignored. But no, that was a phenomenal track. But nothing more to say on it, so that is going to do it for the video. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like if you liked, subscribe if you want to see more, and comment down below with your own thoughts on the track, any feedback or criticism, or anything you want me to react to. In the description, there'll be a link to the music video, so you can go check it out, support the artist, and a link to my Discord server. You can join the Trench Club, be a part of the community there. My Instagram, where I post music stuff, like collection posts, upload announcements, album reviews, fun things like that. And a link to the Spotify playlist of all the tracks I've reacted to, at least the ones that are up on Spotify. Finally, there'll be a link to my official link tree, which just has all my other stuff in it, including, relevant for this video, my Militaria Instagram, where I post all of this stuff and post about history and everything. It's pretty good over there, so if history interests you, y'all should check it out. Like I said, that is going to do it for the video, so once again, thank y'all for watching, and until next time, I'll be seeing ya.